If I can have your attention, we'll roll right into the next press conference. We have a very exciting announcement regarding Daytona International Speedway and the NASCAR Regional and Weekly Series. From my immediate left, we have Joey Chitwood, President of Daytona International Speedway. We have Dr. Jeff Jarvis, President of the University of Northwestern Ohio. We have George Silberman, NASCAR Vice President of Regional and Touring Series. And at the very end, we have Dylan Kwasniewski. Last year, he became the youngest winner in the history of the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. And I will turn it over now to Joey Chitwood for the official announcement.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to announce a major addition to Speed Weeks of 2013, and that is the creation of a short track on the super stretch at Daytona International Speedway. We envision a 4/10 mile oval that we will run on Monday and Tuesday of race week next year. I'll let George talk a little bit about those series that are running, but I do want to introduce and thank the University of Northwestern Ohio for their entitlement of that partnership. And it'll be called the UNOH Battle at the Beach at Daytona. And so for us, we're excited about this addition. There is one other announcement I want to make sure and thank the local community. We've worked very hard as it relates to attracting the local racer. And we've been able to work with the local hotels to create a better package in terms of pricing for hotels from the Sunday through Tuesday of the event. And I'm not sure if we've got Blaine Lansbury here. Blaine, thank you in the back. I think one of the 14 hotels that will be participating to make sure that we've got very comparable rates. And I think we're anywhere from $70 to about $120 for those nights. So we're pleased that we can offer a new addition to Speed Weeks, something we've never done before. But I think when you look at the grand scheme of what the World Center of Racing does, it fits in really nicely with all of the major events. And at the end of the day, I can't imagine that it isn't a short track racer's dream at some point to race at Daytona. So that is my part of the announcement. Thank you.
And Dr. Jarvis, can you just talk about what it means for the University of Northwestern Ohio to be part of the entitlement sponsor for such a monumental, high-profile event?
Well, everyone at the University of Northwestern Ohio is excited about being involved with the inaugural Battle at the Beach event. We started the very first high-performance motorsports program in the world, and we're excited to be involved with the very first grassroots racing event at Daytona International Speedway. I want to thank everyone from Mr. Helton, Mr. Silberman, and Mr. Duvall at NASCAR, Mr. Chitwood, and Mr. Guthrie at Daytona International Speedway. They worked hard and over a period of time, and we put this event together, and we're just very excited to be a part of it. I have to do a shout out to Mandy Ford, sitting down here in front. One of our graduates and now works for the university, designed the logo that you'll see later on the vehicle. But we're very proud to be involved and to enhance our relationship, take the next step with Northwestern's involvement with NASCAR and Daytona. And we look forward. I can't wait. And I was telling George, it's a year away. I wish it was next week. But we're going to do a lot of exciting things between now and then. So we're very excited. Thank you. Oh, there.
Get right side up.
There is the logo.
And there you see the logo. And I will just say that following the press conference, we'll have a photo opportunity in the Budweiser fan zone. We have a NASCAR K&N Pro Series car. We have a UNOH-sponsored Whelen Modified Tour car, and we have Philip Morris's NASCAR Whelen All-American Series late model in the fan zone. So I'll be immediately following the Q&A. Moving on, George Silberman, can you talk about the impact of having the touring and weekly series here at Daytona part of Speed Weeks?
Sure, and let's look at it kind of from three viewpoints. First of all, from the viewpoint of the fans who come to Speed Weeks in 2013 for the first time ever will be able to see the full spectrum of NASCAR racing, from grassroots, weekly, NASCAR Whelen All-American Series, right up to the pinnacle of the sport, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And just as importantly, during the UNOH Battle at the Beach, they're going to be able to see the future stars of NASCAR. The second viewpoint is from the racers themselves, the competitors who compete in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and Whelen Southern Modified Tour, and the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series, our weekly program. Being part of Speed Weeks in 2013 is huge, really huge. And I think it's also a recognition of how important these areas of the sport are to NASCAR. I was in a meeting this morning that Mike Helton spoke at with the series directors, a lot of them involved in the series I just mentioned, and he reaffirmed that this area of the sport is really the soul of NASCAR. And so what you'll be seeing during the UNOH Battle at the Beach is representative of what happens at short tracks all across the United States, as well as racing in Mexico and Europe during the season. The third viewpoint I think that's important is the local community. We are just so pleased to be able to bring a new event to Daytona Beach and help to reestablish an unbroken continuity in Speed Weeks, as well as introduce some new people to this area of Florida. As a resident of Volusia County, I live here with my family. I can tell you that the word that has already leaked out has really created a buzz, and we're very pleased about that. Two other quick things I want to mention. For us, this is a brand new event. We've done other special events in the past, such as the showdown we did in Southern California and some other things, but we're approaching this with a clean sheet of paper. One of the questions I was asked as we were standing back there ready for this was things like purses and things like that. Well, we don't know yet what the contingent awards and special awards will be for 2013, so I can't tell you exactly what the purses are going to be. But our philosophy for this is that the Whelen Modified Tour Race and the K&N Pro Series race will have the same purses. They'll pay $20,000 to win. The NASCAR Whelen All-American Series late model event will pay $15,000 to win. The other thing I want to mention before we get to the guy that you probably really want to hear from is that Speed TV has embraced us, and they'll be here in force, and we're really pleased about that.
And then our last guest is Dylan Kwasniewski. Dylan, you've had a historic win before, but can you talk about the opportunity to A, win this year and get locked into next year's show, and then the possibility to win at Daytona International Speedway?
You know, everybody looks forward to one-day racing here, and to get the opportunity to do that before you're actually at the highest level you can be, I mean, it's amazing. And I always strive to go and race here. I want to see it on TV, and if we come here and we can race and we get more grassroots racing in here, then fans can recognize us more, and then once we actually get to the highest level, then they actually know who we are better. So, I mean, the hardest thing for us is try to get recognition with the fans and try to get sponsors, because it's hard. I mean, we're not getting the biggest exposure, but we're right under these guys, and we work just as hard, and we want to win just as much, and we have the same tenacity to do it. So with Daytona, and we can race here, then it gives us that international speedway feel, and it makes me feel like a professional race car driver, and it's just a big show. So if we get guys like us, I mean, I'm only 16 years old, so to race at Daytona International Speedway would be absolutely amazing, and to get those fans in here and to see that we're doing the same thing that professional cup drivers are doing, then it'd be awesome, and I'm really excited and looking forward to doing it.
We'll open it up to questions from the media. We have down in front, and then we have
Hi, Dave Roberts, Inside Track Racing News out of Toronto, Canada, and Area Auto Racing News. How long has this process been in motion? When did you first start looking at something like this? And you mentioned Irwindale, and right now it looks like just the East guys are going to run this race next year. Will possibly in the future you look at the West guys coming, and I know the East guys would probably like to see the West guys come this way instead of going the other way.
Well, to be very clear, all three of the feature races are going to be non-championship races. So this is not going to be a K&N East or West race. It's going to be a K&N Pro Series race. All comers are welcome. Same thing with the Modified Tour event. It's not going to be a Northern Tour. It's not going to be a Southern Tour. It's going to be a non-championship for Modifieds, and they're welcome to come from either. And then for the late model race, it's as long as you meet the rules and come on down. Both Dylan and Jason had kind of alluded to the lock, and just to be very clear on that, one of the things is if you win a K&N Pro Series race this year, whether it's East or West, you have a protected starting spot in the K&N race here at Daytona next year. Same thing in the Whelen Modified Tours. Whether you win a tour race, a Southern Modified Tour race, you have a locked-in position in the Modified Tour race here in 2013. And then for our Whelen All-American Series, which is our weekly racing program, since that's a slightly different animal, what we're going to do is take the top 10 in the final national point standings in Division One, and each of those top drivers will get a protected starting spot here.
I believe the other question for Joey or George is how long has this been in the works?
We've had conversations for a fair amount of time. I think the challenge has always been the ability to create a circuit that was appropriate for this. And really, after the repave, because we repaved the track as well as the skid pad back there, so now we have a consistency in terms of the asphalt. I think that gives us a better ability to put a good circuit out there. So, but I will tell you that I've been with the company 2.5 years, and in a corporate role, George and I had this conversation. So that was 2.5 years ago. Probably within a month or two after I showed up, I think George was knocking on my door talking about this opportunity. And right now, it really presented itself. And then with Dr. Jarvis and the partnership, it really pushed it over the edge in something that can be a win-win for everyone.
Great. And before we get to the next question, since you're from a Canadian. Oh, okay, sorry. One of the things I also should mention is we have other regional touring series. And so the 2012 champion of our NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, the 2012 champion of our NASCAR Toyota Series, which is the series we have in Mexico, and the 2012 champion for our NASCAR Euro Touring Series will each have a protected starting spot as well. And they can pick which one of those three races they want the protected starting spot in.
I just want to say something on the other part of your question, the time. The two gentlemen on both sides of me are the champions of this event. They've both worked very hard to make this happen, and our involvement way over past a year ago, year and a half, our involvement's been, but these two guys have really been champions for us in the event.
Denise?
It's Denise DuPont, the Chrome Horn. I have two questions, basically. First, will there be scheduled testing allowed before the events occur? And then the next question is if the exhibition events are a success, are there thoughts of going through and making it part of the point race going forward in the future after 2013?
Well, as far as testing goes, we're not contemplating it at this point. Keep in mind the event's a year off, and there's still details to be worked out. And as we put our minds to it, perhaps new creative ideas that come about. One of the nice things about this event is it's truly going to be neutral territory. Even though some of our drivers may hail from Daytona Beach, no one's going to have the home track advantage here. So as we get closer, there may be some competition reasons to look at testing, but right now we're not really contemplating something like that. And then, I'm sorry, your second question? Points. Oh, points. It's too soon to tell, but I think Joey would agree that this seems like the correct way to start out with these three series. I will tell you, if it's successful, we hope to grow and expand the entire idea in the future, but we want to walk before we run. So it seemed most logical at this point to make sure each one of the three races was non-championship, but again, who knows what the future might lead to.
Any other questions for our panel? Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, sir. Good show.